isolate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Washington Commanders and the Indianapolis Colts. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. It's Brian Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope they'll recover.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Powell throwing on 3rd down here. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now last year's leading rusher in the NFL, this is Jonathan Taylor. Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Brissett now on 2nd down. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Colts at 4-3, a game over 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think it's going to be tough to beat in this one.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Brissett. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Robinson, he'll try the left side. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in the open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body, because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing here, Howell. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. 3rd and 2. Here's Howell. Throw complete there. Rodgers. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
We're scoreless after 1. The Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Al now to throw it. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Like what I've seen so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4, the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Brissett. That's caught by his tight end, Kylen Granson. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. On 1st and 10, Brissett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number, because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 36, Powell. And his throw here's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Powell, he'll look to throw it. That one caught by the tight end Bates. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Bobby Okereke making that tackle. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And Howe will throw it. And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Powell throwing on first down here. This is caught. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 2nd and 1 from the 2. Back to the ground with Robinson, and he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw, Howell.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On 3rd down, Robinson. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Rodgers on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play.
And a throw for Pittman is intercepted.
Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Man open is Robinson.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
And the Washington first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Powell to the air on 1st and 10.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't. But he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Brissett sets to throw it. He's got a man, complete.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's Brissett.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Throw going to be caught left side here by Granson.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, kill. Hey, check. Go.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
No sweat for Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Michael Pittman will
touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts have cut it back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much and you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Here's Howell to throw on second down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now trying to pick it up on 3rd. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the 3rd quarter. Another big play right there.
Robinson on a give right side. They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll run again here with Robinson. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Howell. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Howell being chased out left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter play. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game.
Sly able to put this one through.
And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7.
So that, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Brissett.
He's got Granson, his tight end.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett.
Able to find his man, Woods. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds, but before he takes it inside the 40. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Daron Payne picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A give left side to Robinson. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now Howell. Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Throwing again on 2nd down. Brissett. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Blesson Austin. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Commanders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Al throwing for it. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. And sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count it.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young
able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. They face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Brissett hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox.
And he is going to have a Colts first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike?
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bobby McCain.
And the Commanders will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. We're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's Rodgers here with a grab.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Washington, they level their mark at 4-4 on the year.
And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.